So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how I got into a business partnership with a CEO of a $3.5 billion company. And this company is the second largest telecom company in UAE. And this man was the CEO of that company. It's a publicly listed company. It's owned by the government of UAE. And this man was this man was the CEO. And he was not just a CEO, he was the founding CEO. The founding CEO means he was there in the company from the beginning when it was just in the formation stages. So when I met him, he told me that he started this company with just a piece of paper. Of course, it was backed by government financing, etc. But he was really the driver, and he was given the mandate to take this forward. So how did I end up, first of all, getting in contact with him? Okay, a little bit background about me. I'm 29 years old now. And when I met him, I was 26 years old. And I had several businesses I was involved in, but all of them were failure. And I got trained by Dan Pena, and I did his QLA mentorship program. I paid him around £40,000 to do QLA and QLA hardcore. And I came out and I was doing, I planned to buy businesses in healthcare sector in UAE. And right now I have been involved in a $3.5 million transaction, a $10 million transaction, a $15 million, a $25 million, $120 million, $140 million transaction in the last 3 years. So from having little or no business experience to getting into partnership with billion-dollar CEOs to doing these deals. So just a little bit of background of where I am right now, but this story is from 3 years ago when I wasn't in the position I am in today. So I was in Dubai. I was staying there for some time. I did not have that many contacts there. I lived most of my life in India, and I was there to make my dream happen. And I had very little business experience. I did not understand. I had just beginning to understand the investment business, and I did not understand anything about healthcare sector. And I knew what I wanted to create. I wanted to buy several family businesses, merge them together into a large portfolio, and then sell it on the London Stock Exchange market, or sell it to another investment group. So I wanted to create a massive company, and I was looking for high-profile executives that would get involved in this company, that would offer me and this company credibility, their name, their experience, and their contacts. And I really wanted to find the top of the class of people. And I wanted to build a billion-dollar company. So I really was looking at finding team players from that lens. If somebody has not been involved in billion-dollar deals and billion-dollar transactions, you are as powerful as your team. So how are you going to build this company? So I asked myself, how am I going to build this company if I don't have these big names? So I was really, wanted to find someone heavyweight. I didn't know how I would meet them. I didn't know how I would be able to handle them, how I would be able to conduct myself in meetings with them. And I was really nervous. I was anxious, but I knew what I wanted. So my mentor recommended that I go to Rotary meetings. There is a Rotary club. It will be in your city as well, where executives hang out, right? And there are different themes of these meetings, and from different walks of life, executives come for the meeting. So I checked which Rotary should I join, and I found that there was a Rotary meeting happening in the 7-star hotel, Burj Al Arab. And I knew this strategy of premium locations, that whenever there is a premium location and a high entry fee, you will have, high powered individuals there. You don't have stupid people coming there. You have accomplished people coming there. So we paid around roughly $150 for that night. This was, I think without dinner, with dinner, I don't remember, but the entry fee was around $150 per person. And me and my brother went there, dressed up in a 3-piece suit, just like how I am dressed up now, with a nice pocket square. And we entered the meeting, and I saw that people were in suits, but not everybody was in a suit. Not everybody had a tie. Not everybody had a 3-piece suit, and not everybody had a pocket square. So when both of us entered in a nice 3-piece suit with the pocket square, extremely well dressed, you're making a statement that you are someone who is accomplished, you're someone who have dreams, you are someone who you take yourself seriously, and you have something that you're working on, and you're going somewhere in life. These are the types of subconscious and sub-communications that you're giving when you're dressed up in a nice 3-piece suit. So I entered and I saw this man, big-looking man, massively powerful-looking man, sitting at the head of the conference table. So at the top floor, there was a nice conference table. The whole hall had glass around it, so you could see the entire city. And he was sitting at the head of the meeting, of the table, and he was supposed to speak on technology, how technology is moving the world in a completely different direction. So he was supposed to speak on that topic. So the moment I saw him, he saw me, mainly I think because of the way I looked. I was well dressed, and we locked eyes, and that's it. And then I sat down. So just getting some attention and me being on his radar helped. The second thing that I noticed was, in the entire room, it was full of people. Everybody was sitting on the conference room, on the conference table, and the seat next to him was empty. Now just think about it. There is a CEO of a billion-dollar company in the room, and the seat next to him is empty. Why is that? It's because people are scared, people are intimidated, and people cannot handle that kind of energy. People feel exposed. People may even feel ashamed and small compared to the accomplishment this man has. And that is the reason why these seats are empty. And this is exactly what my mentor said in a different way. He said that these billion-dollar CEOs do not get a lot of phone calls. The reason is because people are afraid. And you would be surprised, the most approachable person in the room is the one which is the most intimidating and scariest looking. Because people don't feel they deserve to be around their presence. People don't feel that they have anything valuable for them. So people completely lose their form, their frame, and their power, and it's outside of people's comfort zone. So very naturally, a lot of these big CEOs do not get a lot of calls. You must be thinking that they're all the time being hammered with phone calls on deals, but that's not the case. So I immediately saw the seat. I wasn't surprised. I knew that this kind of seats are empty. These are high pressure seats. Because what are you going to speak with the man? About your tiny little life? What are you going to speak? So that's how people think. What am I going to speak? So they don't sit next to them. And because they don't sit next to them, they don't create opportunities. Because they don't create opportunities, they have, small lives. Unfortunately, that's the case. So I sat down next to him. I felt the pressure. I felt intimidated. But I immediately started to have a conversation with him. I asked him, where are you from? And he said, I'm from Lebanon. So where are you from? I said, I'm from India. He says, what do you do? He asked me. And I said, I'm building a healthcare group in UAE, and I will be bringing together 40 to 50 healthcare businesses together, and then we will be exiting. I will be consolidating the healthcare industry in UAE. And he raised his eyebrows because that vision was big. And notice the language that I used. I did not say that I want to, I intend to, I'm planning to. I said, I will. I am going to. I am already doing it. So that was my statement. It wasn't I want to, I'm thinking about, I might. It was I will, I'm going to, I am. I am doing it. So 2 aspects here, big vision that got his attention, and certainty. I believed in myself. He could feel I believe in myself. Whether he believes in me or not, that's a second question. But at least I believe in myself. I'm dressed like it. I talk like it. I am it. And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So here is what happened. I asked him, he said, okay, great, wow, and I said, and I asked him, what do you do? And he says, have you heard about this company? And he named the company. And it was the second largest telecom company in UAE. And I said, yes, I know that company. I have that company's SIM card. And he said, well, I'm the CEO of the company. I was the founding CEO of the company. So I said, so are you not in the company anymore? And he said, no, I just recently retired. And I will be now moving into a more non-executive role, advisory role. I will be sitting on boards of startups and stuff like that. So I was like, very interesting. Well, I'm looking for board members and advisors and non-executive directors. And he says, well, we should have a conversation. I said, sure, and then he pulled out his card. He wrote his new number. He gave it to me. And we sat down. I sat down next to him. He did his speech. And after the speech, I complimented him. We talked a little bit. So another thing that I learned about from Tony Robbins is proximity is power. When you're in close proximity with people, you have an added advantage. You want to be as close to the success as possible. The natural instinct is going to be invisible in the room, to dress down, to sit in some faraway seat so that nobody can notice you. You don't want to do that. You want to be in the limelight. You want to dress up like you want people to look at you, and you want to sit as close to success as possible. And you need to have big visions. So because I was there in the whole meeting next to him, I knew he would remember me. And towards the end, I made sure I waited and I walked next to him towards the lift. It was a little strategy. So we were together in the lift, just me, him, and my brother. And we were talking. I shared about my mentor. I shared how I got trained. I shared what I was doing. I asked him. He told me the story about how he created this, company from scratch, and how he wanted to take it to $1 billion. And it became a tremendous success. And he became this media figure as well. And, then we went to the lobby. We started to talk more. His car came. And he looked at me and he said, we have to have that meeting, huh? And I said, yes, sure. And then we left. He left. And I just could not believe it. And this is really maybe subconscious, but I did not think that he would get into a business partnership with me. I was wrong. I just didn't believe in myself because I was starting out. I had less experience, maybe a little bit less confidence. I would be foolish to be confident, but I was humble. I wanted to learn. I was sincere, and but I really had doubts. And it doesn't matter if you have doubts, because of what I'm about to tell you now, what happened next. So I have this card. I come back home the next day. I was like, should I call? Should I call? And then I was like, fuck it, I'm going to call. I picked up the phone. I called. He did not pick up. And another lesson that my mentor gave me was that be persistent. Okay, just be persistent. So I called second time. He did not pick up. I called third time. He did not pick up. I called fourth time. He picked up. And he had this harshness in his voice. He said, hello, who's speaking? And I said, oh, this is Prithvi speaking, so-and-so. We met the other day. He said, oh, of course. How are you? I'm so sorry. I didn't have your number. I don't take, unknown numbers. And how are you doing, my friend? Please tell me. Yes, about our meeting, of course. How about we meet at Al Naseem Hotel in Dubai? It's a nice 5-star hotel on so-and-so day. So I was like, okay, done. And I wrote down the date. I got there on time. I saw him. He was doing another meeting. He was sitting again at the head of the table. It looked like people had come to see him. And he looked like this powerful figure, one of those figures that walk around with bodyguards, like a big minister. And he came in and he said, it's possible that I might become, there are discussions of me becoming prime minister in Lebanon. So I was just having some conversations and I was like, holy fuck, like this man here is extremely powerful figure. And, he's such a well-known man in UAE. And I'm sitting down with him. It was a very surreal moment. There was this nice big sofa sitting there and having this conversation, this business meeting. And he says, tell me, sir. And he would always call me sir, which really made me laugh. He said, tell me, sir, what can I do for you? And what is this business model that you're doing? And then I did my presentation. It was a 5 to 7 minute presentation. He had 2 or 3 questions. And then he said, what would you like me to do? I said, I'd like you to be, I'd like you to be the chairman of the company. And, I'll offer you some shares in the company and we'll take it from there. And he says, sounds good enough. I'm in. And we shook hands. And he said, what's your vision for this company? I said, I want to build a $1 billion company. And he raised his eyebrows and he said that I envy you. He said, I envy you. That I said, envy me? How come? And he said that just the enthusiasm of starting something. And I could tell from his eyes that he could see himself in me, could see the younger version of himself in me. And he says, I'm glad that we met, we shook hands. And he says, I told him, I'll keep you posted on the progress. And we shook hands and he left and that was it. And my whole life changed from that point, because then I met another high profile executive. He also agreed to be on my company, then another one. And soon enough, I had the top individuals from finance in the country, the top CEOs from healthcare in the country with 25, 30 years of experience, and him being the chairman of the board with all the contacts that he has, and top lawyers in the country and top law firms and accounting firms. And, I spoke to top banks and I managed to get involved in such big deals. And I had the opportunity of working in such big transactions. And everything changed from that meeting and that little event that happened in Burj Al Arab, in the 7-star hotel, in the Rotary meeting. And everything in my life changed. So if you are someone who wants to be in this position, who wants to execute this kind of business model and be around these kinds of people. I've done over 400 presentations. It wasn't a coincidence, or it wasn't an accident that I met him and then I could get into a business partnership with him. I followed a step-by-step system, step-by-step procedure that allowed me to be in this position. If it wasn't him, it could have been someone very similar, because I have met other powerful individuals as well. In this particular video, I wanted to share this particular story. So if that's you, if you want to be in this position, if you want to get involved in multi-million-dollar deals, get advised by high-profile executives, have high-profile executives as your business partners, as your mentors, as your guide into making a lot of money, then reach out to me. I'm offering a one-on-one free consultation call where we will look into your current position. We'll understand your future, where you want to go and what would be the best way to position yourself. And this free consultation call is towards a 3 to 6 month mentorship. I've mentored individuals from Mexico, from India, where they were, which are third world countries, by the way, and which have managed to put together very similar teams like I did. And they did it in a shorter span of time than I did, because I was there to guide them. I did not have anybody who was guiding me on a consistent basis. So if that's you, get in touch with me for this free consultation call. We will assess if we have synergies. If we have synergies and if you're serious, then there is a chance where we would be getting into a one-on-one mentorship program over 3 to 6 months, where I will help you put a team like this together, define your business model, and get into a position of doing multi-million-dollar deals in a matter of few months. So if you are interested in that, I'm leaving some links below. Hit me up on those links, and I'll just give you a small form to fill. It's very important that you fill this form. You actually have to qualify for this free consultation call, because I only speak with serious people. So it's important that you fill this form, and we'll have the free consultation call. And after the free consultation call, we can assess whether it would be good for you to go through this mentorship program. This mentorship program is going to be paid, obviously. So be prepared to take a financial decision. But it's absolutely going to change your life forever. And that is something that I offer you. Okay? So I will talk to you soon. And if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you again.